Welcome to the Southern Broadcast Racing Network. We are live here at Rockingham, North Carolina for the Autism Awareness 225, and I am joined in the booth with my good buddy Jeremy Robbins. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm just glad we beat NASCAR back here to Rockingham. They ain't made it yet, so we getting the jump on them. But man, I tell you what, I hit a few laps on this track today, and this is going to be interesting to see who has practiced and who hasn't, especially since this is like a miniature version of Darlington, Indy, and a little bit of Bristol all tied into one. That's just my opinion now. Ford, what do you think?
I think it is going to be pretty interesting, and looking at the roster of who is in the race so far, we might see a different winner tonight. We do not see Mr. Dustin Hall, Mr. three-time race winner, on the track tonight, but he may be a late comer, so we will see what happens there.
Well, he's got about 4 minutes to sneak in if he's going to, but he ain't got to be here. But the power rankings dropped for HTL, and if you don't believe it, he don't have to be here. He's sitting at the number one on the power rankings with an unanimous of 25 points.
Yeah, but you have Frankie Barroso sitting in that number 2 spot for the power rankings, so he's been a top 5 contender all so far this season. So there could be a chance to see him move up to that number 1 spot if Dustin Hall is not here, all the time.
Yeah, and something else that Frankie's going to may get the jump on with this is in the points. I mean, he's sitting in third at 339 with Nathan Eastep above him in the P2 on points with 377, and then you've got Dustin Hall, who is leading the points right now at 381. So with Dustin not being here, if he does not show up, Nathan and Frankie are easily able to kind of capitalize.
Yeah, absolutely. They are right there within striking distance. One race could close them in, or a bad race could set them further behind. So we'll just have to see how this short track treats these cars tonight. As I see Frankie Barroso, he scrubs the wall, so this track is going to be a difficult one tonight.
Yeah, it's a mile long. So I mean, like I said, the bankings of it are they've got the Bristol banking. So I mean, it's going to be interesting. And that I drove it a few laps myself just to kind of get a feel for it. And coming out of pits, man, you got to be easy on that gas, or you're going to be doing donuts. And coming out of 3, it does the same thing it does at Darlington. It just wants to suck you up to the wall as you're going down through, I guess, what you'd call a tri-oval or front stretch.
Yeah, so I predict this is going to be a very interesting race. Hopefully we won't see a lot of cautions, but if we do, hopefully they have a few fast repairs to get them back on the track and making some laps. This could be anybody's race. You talked about getting loose coming out of the pit, so it's going to be a lot of throttle management, and we're going to see who is able to manage the best.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of managing. As far as managing your tires, you're going to have to manage the throttle control and turns in and out. And I was talking to Blake earlier, and he was like, I hate this track, but he said that he's been running it kind of with a diamond in and out on the turns. So I mean, it's not your normal track, but it is a normal track. And lo and behold, with less than a minute in practice, Mr. Dustin Hall does join with Alistair Kirk. So we have got 2 of them that has popped in. So he may be able to defend his points lead tonight. Tar Heel out there, a Tombstone Motorsports fan.
Oh yeah, I do have to admit, as they were asking about, the power ranking, the top 5, for that power ranking, I actually did throw Alistair Kirk's name up in there because, I believe if he is here, I think he can win some races. He has that mentality. He is calm, cool, and collective. So I threw his name up in there and, said, hey, he would be my sixth pick, but, let's see how he does tonight and see if he can move up in those power rankings.
Yeah, it looks like they're fixing to start qualifying, so we're going to flip a few screens around and get it ready for it. It's just going to be interesting to see who is going to take the pole on this.
Yeah, because I was watching those lap times in practice, and everybody was consistent with the pole sitters' lap times. I mean, I saw fourth position, which was Mr. Henderson. He was .08 seconds off the. Oh, you must be lost. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm Rockingham's lost somewhere.
You lost in the pit. But yeah, I watched those lap times, and they were very consistent with the 12 of Frankie Barroso, which he held the top spot, in practice. So it's going to be a very close race. Might see a little bumping, banging, spinning, and yeah,
Mayhem.
Yeah, mayhem. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, it don't look like none of them's really jumping out there to qualify right now. So this may just be a standoff amongst everybody to see. We've got one taker on the field. We've got Josh Van Winston.
Yep, and as you mentioned, that throttle control, he kind of got loose coming out of the pits. So, yeah, if we have green flag pit stops, one little mistake or too much gas can spin you around. I love that paint scheme. He does still run that Punisher paint scheme. I love it. Made by DEP Graphics. Love what they can do. They have great work. So if you have a chance, go check out DEP Graphics on Facebook. Actually had him do one of my paint schemes for the upcoming Jingle Jam, which is the Toys for Tot race, and he made me a wonderful paint scheme for that race.
Well, speaking of DEP, let's take a moment and give a little shout out to some of the work he can do, as we are going to throw it up on the side by side with some qualifying still going on. And that right there, them are some fine paints that he puts out. So it's looking right now like it's going to be a little bit interesting on the qualifying.
Yeah, we have Weston as of right now sitting on that pole position with Smith in second, but not everybody is done qualifying. Whitlock running fourth and Denny in third.
Well, I'm not going to jinx it right now, but Matt Smith has got a pretty good time down in on qualifying.
As Whitlock just took the pole position as of right now.
Broke into the 23 seconds.
Yes, he did. Just barely, but he did it. I see some more people joining the track, and that is going to be Alistair Kirk. I believe he is out on the track. Let's see if I can catch up with him. Yes, he is. Running that Devil's Ford Mustang with that Great Britain stamped on the side.
And that's one guy that I just love talking to.
Yeah, like I said, he has that calm, cool, collected voice. Um, Definitely like some of his pronunciations.
Maybe we'll get to talk to him tonight after it's over and done.
Oh boy, golly, I hope we do.
I think he can get your feet on the accent there.
Ah, yeah, he's got me beat.
I
Yeah,
think he's got that.
I'd hope so. Oh, as he gets loose, coming to the line, he is sideways. And let's see how he did. He was able to get the 5th position sideways coming across the line. That was some awesome driving. Kept it off the wall. Oh, and here comes our heavy hitter on the track. The number 4, Jimmy Strong, Dustin Hall ass. Number 4 Camaro.
Yeah, hashtag hauling ass is been kind of taking over that Blake Nation here lately, so I'm not for sure how that's going to play out, but Blake Nation may be crumbling.
It's very interesting. I saw Blake running in practice, but I don't see him qualifying.
He may have to sign the checks to get his. Oh, never mind. I knew they was going to come out of the closet as soon as I started saying something.
They are. Oh, welcome, Andy Unabomber. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll get us for saying that. Twitch may think that we're talking about a threat or something. The way they are with social media these days.
Oh yes. All right.
Right now, we're going to ride with the 11 car of Brandon Perry.
You know, one person I am glad to see, here, is Hunter Whitlock. We haven't seen him for a couple of races, and it's good to see him back out on the track. We saw him last week, and he is back today. Oh, as Dustin hits the wall, hopefully his qualifying time was over.
It looks like it wasn't, so his laps was in, none of them counted, and it's going to be interesting to see where he's going to be starting. But Frankie is coming in, running part of the Texas Family Motorsports. And Hunter is the lone Toyota. He is the one and only that we've got in this league.
I wish he would go find him some teammates, and so that way he has somebody to work with. But out of all these guys, they're all great, and they'll work with him any chance that they get. But it'd be nice to see another manufacturer out there.
And look at that, y'all! One of our fellow SBRN commentators, Mr. Nick Goebel, just converted his Prime gaming from Amazon Prime to a tier. So, welcome to the party there, Nick. Thank you for the sub. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it, Nick. Much love. Oh, my goodness. And Barroso took the pole position by 0.10 seconds.
So right now, it looks like it might be a pretty close race as your top 4. And there's that Nicholas France. They all are right there, and they're all within a 24.8 to a 23.89, all within about 20 thousandths of a second. So, I mean, it's Rockingham. I mean, track temperature, you think East Coast, you're sitting at 120 degrees right now, and the temperature is about 79, and you got that breezy coastal wind coming in. So it's going to be interesting to see how the cars are going to shift as the track goes on and as warmer as it gets and the tires start wearing, and if their lines are going to stay the same or if they're going to change them around.
Watching them in practice, I've seen multiple lines. I saw high line, low line, and kind of that middle groove. So you're absolutely right. As the track heats up, we're going to see lines change. So I'm not sure which. I don't think I've ever raced this track, so this is gonna be interesting to see.
I put a few laps in it just to say I did, and it's a whole different. You have an EOL and you finally run a good lap. Wow, that's right. Hunter does have to pick up his EOL.
Oh, Hunter. All right, let's run through our grid here. So we're gonna have Frankie Barroso on the pole, Hunter Whitlock in second, but he is gonna go towards the back of the pack with his EOL. Um, Matt, we got Matt Smith in our third position. We got Nicholas France in fourth, Josh Van Weston in fifth, Blake Nation in sixth, Alistair Kirk is starting in seventh, Alfred Denny starting in eighth, Brandon Perry starting in ninth, Bryce Boyer in 10th, Dustin Hall in 11th, and Steve Tucker in 12th. And Nathan Eastep, he has not gridded in yet. I don't know if he is going to make it. So, but we are going to watch that lonely Toyota go back to the end of the longest line. Hate to see that for him, but that was an awesome lap. You know, props to him. As he drives through the pace car, he's going to dive down to the apron and then go to the back. So that's going to change up your lineup just a little bit. That outside line is going to move up one position. So that's going to put Nicholas France on that front row in that P2 position.
Yeah, what he pretty much done was setting that qualifying lap. He said, "Hey, I can run this, and I'm gonna start at the back and pass everybody just to show you I can do it."
Oh, I believe I definitely don't think he is done. We will see him back at the front, and we are about to go green. Green flag is out. Barroso takes the green flag, and he has a heck of a jump. He is. I think the 17 must have been sleeping because he did not really go unless he was kind of iffy about spinning the tires, which that could happen on these restarts.
Yeah, I'd be definitely kind of cautious as first few laps, especially you trying to figure out where you're going to run at on this track. You know, they don't have that much practice on it. So, you know, if somebody got in here a little bit before them and practiced, they're going to get a heads up a little bit.
And look at Kirk moving to the inside of France. He is going to try to take away that fourth position. But it looks like the outside line is going to have the momentum coming out of 3 and 4.
And surprisingly enough, everybody seems to be calm, cool, collective on holding it.
And Barroso has about 0.6 seconds lead over Smith in that second position. And then the times just fall back. It's pretty much 0.6 seconds, 0.5 seconds to Weston. And good job to him. He made it up into that top 5 as he drives on the apron for unknown reasons.
Well, you talk about one making a move. You know, Hunter Whitlock, he had to take the EOL and started out in 13th, but he has already moved up to P9. So that Toyota is going places.
Yes, and as of right now, our biggest mover is going to be Bryce Boyer. He started in that 10th position, and he is up 3 positions to the 7th spot. And it looks like we are about to have a challenge for the lead. Matt Smith has caught the 12 car. of Frankie Barroso, and we are gonna see what he is gonna do. Is he gonna stay behind him and ride, or is he gonna get around him? And he's taking that inside line, coming to turn one. Looks like the inside line is going to have it. We're going to see him slide up in front of that 12, and he makes the pass. So we have a new leader.
Yeah, you've got Matt Smith and Josh Van Winston both have kind of closed the gap on everybody. So everybody looks like starting to figure out what line runs fast. And of course, when you're the leader and you're pulling away, everybody's going to be watching like, hey, he's running fast on this line. Let's run his line. And so you got to pick up a new strategy if you're going to kind of stay away from the pack.
Absolutely. And I was just riding around with Alistair Kirk, and he took a little bit of a door check from the one car of Bryce Boyer, and it sent him up to the wall, and he got a little bit of right side damage on his Ford Mustang.
Yeah, I think Captain Kirk still got the power to get a little beaming it up to the front, so I wouldn't hold him out just yet. Like, we've still got 215 laps to go tonight, so it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, he's not out of this yet. Short track racing, I don't think aerodynamics is going to really affect him much. Might make his car a little bit tighter, or could make it a little bit looser, but I still think it's pretty much almost like the short track racing. You can get around without a fender.
It's like one of those, you're right. It's got the short track feel to it, but the straightaways are just long enough. It seems like you might can pick up a draft right before you go into the turn. So if you can kind of hook it up and ride it through there, you might can get a good run coming out of either 2 or 3.
Oh, Bryce Boyer into the wall, takes out the 2 Coolers light car. And there is our first caution of the night. Blake Henderson, Bryce Boyer, Hunter Whitlock.
Alfred Denny.
A lot of good cars that were involved in that.
We're going to take it back and just see what started all of it. It looked like a little bit of a getting into the wall by Bryce Boyer, but we'll go and find out what we got.
Dustin Hall got a piece of that also. He was moving up through the rankings. He was up 4 positions from where he started, so he was working his way up.
Yeah, it looks like Bryce Boyer just got into the wall and got into the whole shebang, and we've got a good about 6 cars that was involved in that one.
Not what you wanted to see first 13 laps in. Anti-Blake deep strikes again. Oh,
Here we go.
Here we go. And let's see. Interesting enough, Frankie pitted along with Hunter Whitlock, Alfred Denny, Blake Henderson, Bryce Boyer, and Dustin Hall. The 51 of Alistair Kirk did not pit unless they went into a close pit. So I'm not sure about that. I know he had a little bit of right side damage, but it must not be affecting his car that much.
Yeah, they may have. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and just drop it in. I mean, you got some tires. You can't make too much adjustments because they do run fixed. But I mean, what little you can change, especially if it's not feeling right.
Absolutely. And Steve Tucker started at the back, and he is now up to the 4th position because he elected not to pit. So welcome to the top 5 there, Steve. Now up to the 4th position because he elected not to pit. So and it looks like they utilized those fast repairs, so Blake was able to come out, and he is, I believe, in that 7th position. Oh.
You know, I don't know if I'd want to use that fast repair right off the bat. I mean, we've still got a good 200 laps to go.
From the looks of some of those cars, I think it was probably the best idea, because it looks like the leaders are running pretty fast. So I don't think you want to get trapped a lap down just in case it goes green and there's not a lot of cautions, and we are about to go green. With Matty Smith on point, or Matt Smith. And they're off. Matt Smith gets a pretty good jump on that inside line with Weston in that second position, riding in that middle groove.
Yeah, it looks like they're debating to go with 3 wide coming into turn 3 and 4 between the 17, 24, and 51. So it's going to be.
Oh, Blake gets a little bit loose coming off of turn 4, but he's able to regain control as the 24 scrapes the wall just a little bit going into turn 1.
And Papa John Hall is telling him, buddy, you're going to have to do some of that driving shit now. It looks like they are going baiting it again on putting it 3 wide. We can see our lone Toyota just got into the wall. So he may have to adjust a little bit of his driving style. But it looks like they're starting to clean out just a little bit.
I don't know. Scraping that wall maybe gave him what he needed for the handling of that race car, because he is now challenging the 1 car for his position, for that 9th position.
Yeah, and you've got a good little pack right there. You've got the 11 car. Brandon Perry is kind of in front, and you see Boyer leads off as they get a little crowded. He don't want none of that again. He's already been through it once.
And here comes Hunter Whitlock. He is past the 11 car for another position. So, as he scrapes the wall again. And now looking to challenge Dustin Hall for the 7th position. So great driving. Dustin Hall is back up to 4 spots from his current position. And our biggest mover of the night for right now is going to be that 24 car of Steve Tucker. He is up to the 3rd position, so he is having a good run so far, getting challenged by Blake Henderson.
Yeah, we've got Blake. He's moved it on up to the 4th spot with his motto saying Highline gets the girls. So I'm not for sure what kind of line he's going to run right now, as they're doing it side by side as they're coming through the tri-oval.
And I'm trying to figure out, we saw the 12 car pit with the others. I don't know if he has some damage that he had to get repaired or not, but he has dropped back, and he is 7 seconds back. And, oh my goodness, who was that? Dustin Hall. Dustin Hall. Oh, the 51 gets it. Oh, the 51 clipped his front fender, and he went spinning into the wall. It doesn't look like he has used his fast repair yet, so because he still has a little bit of damage on the back bumper.
You see that 51 hit the wall, and once again, Dustin was on the receiving end.
So we have Matt Smith in that top spot still. Steve Tucker is in the 2nd. Van Weston lost 1 spot to the 24. In 3rd, Blake Henderson has moved up to the 4th position. There you go, Blake Nation. He is in the top 5.
You know what? I heard Blake say something like if he won the race, he was going to give like all of his Blake Nation folks like $100 or something. I think I heard him say something about that today.
Let me add myself into that chat.
Right. I'll be his number 1 fan.
I'll be his number 1 fan. Move over, Blake Nation. Make some room. $100, $100. I want in. Just cheer for Blake there, Nick. I'm pretty sure he'll write us all a check.
Well, all right. While they're under caution, we're going to take 1 second and give a good little shout out to Martin Sports, who is helping us host our Dash for Cash coming up December 16th. Now, I do not know if I would want that to be my team name. I can handle the Los Angeles Blakers, but I don't think I'd want to have LeBron anywhere tied with it if it was my choice.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch that one. And the pace car is off. We're about to go green. Matt Smith in the lead, and he is off. Steve Tucker got a pretty good jump on that outside line. He's going to take it way wide and make that outside groove work. He is able to take the lead away from Matt Smith, with Blake on the outside challenging him for that second position. Going into turn 3, let's see how that high line works for Blake. And he is going to be able to make the pass. And we have another flag. Alistair Kirk has crashed. Looks like he just cannot get a handle on that hot rod.
Yeah, them restarts and spinning those tires and trying to figure out that line. It looks like he let off a little bit.
But we have a new leader. And Blake Nation is in the second position. We're going to see Steve Tucker give up. Nope. Oh, he tried to fake him out. He saw nobody else pitting, so he decided not to pit.
More yellow flags than a Florida Gators game.
Oh, why you got to put the Gators in there?
Richard, aren't you an Auburn fan?
Auburn? No. I am not an Auburn fan, sir.
I could have sworn maybe it was Ole Miss.
No, I'm a Florida fan.
Oh yeah, he's a Florida fan. I forgot.
yeah. That's shots fired. That's below the belt.
That's beating you with your own belt.
Pretty much.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, on that restart, Mr. Henderson, he made some moves taking it on the high side, and I think he had a little Harry Hog in his ear saying if you run the high side, it can hold, as he took 2 positions right off the restart.
Looks like we have a few takers still in the pit. We have Denny and Hall still in the pit. I wonder if they're getting some more of that damage done, repaired. Hopefully they don't go a lap down. Looks like they may have made it out of the pits and they're going to get back out on the track. Probably saving, like you said, saving that fast repair, trying to fix it under these cautions, and saving that fast repair when it's really going to be needed.
Yeah, they only get one, so I mean, you get one fast repair, you're doing 225 laps at a track, you're probably not that familiar on what line runs. So I wouldn't use it right off the bat. I mean, I'm going to hold it and just see what happens towards the end when them green-white checkers start coming out.
I definitely agree with you there. They are definitely, these top guys pitted and then they stayed out, so they're trying to save all those tires that they have, probably for those late runs also. And looks like we are about to go green as we are coming out of turn 3, coming to the start-finish line. And there it is. 24 gets a pretty good jump on Blake Henderson on that outside line, but as we've seen, that outside line is pretty fast. So let's see if Blake can do anything as he just tucks in behind the 24. Not ready to challenge just yet. He's got to get back up to that bumper. We got Van Weston in that third position with Matt Smith, our former leader, in that number 4 spot.
Yeah, Steve Tucker, he's making a pretty powerful statement right now that he can lead the pack, and he actually is leading the pack. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can stay up front. Blake's looking to peep on the inside, but I'm willing to say Blake's going to try to throw it on the high side in the next coming turns.
Yeah, I think I do agree with that. The 24 is going to definitely look and see what line he's running, and Blake's going to adjust his line to the line he's not running to see if he can, get some more of that momentum like we saw earlier when he made up those 2 positions.
But right now, it looks like he's settled in pretty good following the tailwind of Steve Tucker, as he's got about a half a second lead over him.
Yeah, and they have actually broke away a little bit. They are now over 1 second from the third place of Josh Van Weston in that 21. And he looks like he has a strong hot rod for the evening also. Oh, excuse me. And look who is coming back into the picture. We have Frankie Barroso riding in that 6th position. We saw him in the pits earlier, trying to fix some damage, or I don't know what he was doing, actually, and he went towards the back, and now he's working his way back up towards the front.
Yeah, these guys they're making it tight racing. I mean, like you said, it's a short track racing, but it's kind of got that high speed. Because as soon as you come halfway out of the turn, you get back on it. If you don't, you're going to lose the momentum we've got our lonely Toyotas moved back up to the 7th position.
Yes, I was just riding along with him, and look who else is coming up towards the front is that 51 car of Alistair Kirk. We saw him spin out a little earlier. Oh, I'm sorry, he is a lap down. Never mind. Scratch that. He is trying to work his way to the field to get his lap back the hard way, and he's doing a pretty good job of it.
And that right there was a nice move by Hunter Whitlock going on the outside. The 51 and the 21 look like they got into each other again.
Oh, the 21 and the 12 collected each other. Oh, and they are around. Caution is
And
back out.
Dustin is caught up in it again, just trying to avoid it.
Oh my goodness, Dustin.
Well, we was actually riding with that one, but we're going to ride back from Frankie's point of view and see what he was feeling on that one.
He just got that front clip fixed, and now he has lost it again. I don't think they secured that front clip very well.
Barossa did not have a chance. And you can see as they're coming through the trail, boy, how much fighting they're having to do with that.
Yeah, the 21 of Josh Van Weston, he just bounced off that wall, clipped the 12. A lot of good cars, taken out under that. So hopefully they got those fast repairs left, and it's not going to hurt them too bad, or it's not a lot to keep them in the pits for a long period of time. So we had Steve Tucker dive into the pits. Maybe he didn't. Did he go into the pits? or did he do another fake? I was not watching. He dived down below the yellow line, and he dived back up with Henderson followed him down to the yellow line, and they did not pit. So they are still 1 and 2 with Bryce Boyer up 7 spots in that third position. And look who is coming towards the front again. The 35 of Hunter Whitlock is in the 4th position. Alfred Denny is in that 5th position. We saw him, get into an incident earlier, and he has worked his way up to the top 5. So great job by these guys, even after taking a little bit of damage from previous cautions.
Yeah, Papa John Hall, I've got to agree with you. I think everybody saw him maybe on a power rankings being at the top, and it seems like he has got the yellow magnet on him as every caution, whether it directly involved him, he's been counted up in it.
Yeah, he is riding around with no front bumper. I don't know how that's going to affect his car, but hopefully not too much, and he can still hopefully show some speed in that hot rod, because we know he has the talent to run up towards the front. So hopefully that won't hurt him too bad.
Yeah, he don't look to have much of anything left, as it looks like him and Frankie Barossa both are running the new open mod. Let's say we've got 10 laps or 40 laps in and only 4 cautions, so it's doing better than what I thought it was going to be tonight.
Blake is number 2 on the track right now, but he is number 1 in our hearts, always. Man, that sounds like a Hallmark card.
I think he did. I think he got it from Hallmark. Either that or Lifetime. That's a Lifetime Christmas show. It's Christmas season. There's where he got it from.
Plug the dash. Plug the dash.
What in the world was that? Somebody just, stream bomb us or something?
Nah, I think it was, somebody got a little too excited.
We are off. They started single file that time around. So the 24 and the 25 are going to duke it out. They got a pretty good jump on the rest of the pack, and they have broke away to a half a second lead in front of Boyer. But Henderson is going to challenge that 24. He is going to try to take that inside line, but the 24 has a lot of momentum. Oh, he gives the 24 a little bump. Gets the 24 squirrely.
There's more than one way to get around somebody. Chrome is free to use, but with that right there, you've got the possibility of a rebuttal. They are doing it side by side, and Bryce Boyers came into the picture again.
So we got Henderson on the inside, 24 on the outside. As they come out of turn 2, outside lane is going to be a little bit more dominant, but we've seen people get loose up there on that high line coming out and scrape that wall. So the 24 was able to get around Henderson and keep that top spot, as Boyer and Whitlock are challenging the number 25 of Blake Henderson for his position. Oh, the one that scraped the wall. As we were just talking about him, he scraped the wall, but he was able to maintain position. Coming in turn 3, what you got?
I'm going to tell you what, man, they're making that high line roll, and Hunter Whitlock, him and Bryce Boyer both, they've worked their way up to the front, and they are running the high side, and it seems to be the most efficient side right there.
I just was watching Hunter Whitlock. It looks like he is overdriving his car on that high line. He's having to crank that wheel coming out of the turns, which that's what we have seen that gets you really loose. or put you into the wall. And that has caused chaos as you see him drive up, and he has the let out of the gas, losing a whole bunch of momentum. Oh, and there goes the 24 car. The number 1 got into the 24.
I'm going to have to go on that one. I think the number 1 was holding his line on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at that. 1 car on the high line. Oh, yeah, Steve Tucker just overdrove it. Got into the 1 car. The 1 car was able to prevail, and now he is your current leader as he's getting challenged by Van Weston. There was no caution for that, because it was only a single car. I hate to see that for Steve Tucker, but he is back straight. He is 16 seconds back, so anything can happen. I know we will have stages, I believe.
Yeah, we've actually got one coming up here in a few laps. I believe our first stage break, it is going to be on... I think we've already passed it.
Oh, well, there you have it, folks. As the 1 is getting a mirror full of that 21 of Josh Van Weston, Hunter Whitlock has fell back just a little bit. I think he is using up all of his tires too early. But we have Alfred Denny. He has made his way up to the 3rd spot, challenging the 1 for that 2nd spot, and he wants a piece of the lead. So now he has Josh Van Weston in his sights.
And they just informed me that it's looking like stage 1 is going to end around lap 65 and 66, with stage 2 anywhere between lap 131 to 132. So we've got about 25 more laps to go before we're going to have a stage break.
And there you have it. As I am riding around with the 24 car, he has just passed the start-finish line. Those leaders are catching him. He is coming out of turn 2, and they are coming into turn 1. So he is in jeopardy of going a lap down. He's only got 13 laps to hold him off to stay on that lead lap, but he will get the lucky dog once that stage ends. And Josh Van Weston has broke away over 1.6 seconds in front of Alfred Denny in that Coolers Light number 2 Ford Mustang.
Yeah, Winston, he's breaking it away, and like you said, he's up to about 2.5 seconds now, but it looks like we've got a little bit of a battle starting to brew, and see if we can catch one somewhere. It looks like the closest one it's showing right now is going to be between Hall. Yeah, it was Hall and Barossa. And
now it's the 51 and Smith. So we got Kirk. He's beaming his way back up to the top 5. He is challenging that number 19 on the inside, coming out of turns 3 and 4. Smith was able to maintain that position, but Kirk is fighting back along with Hall. He wants a piece of the pie also.
yeah, and right now we're riding with the 5th, 6th, and 7th, well, the 4th through 7th car, as this guy going to be running with Matt Smith, Mr. Kirk, and Henderson, and Whitlock is slowly trying to close that 2-second gap, but Henderson's been playing it real patiently after he's drifted back to the back and drifts into the wall. He holds on to it and just runs it and gets a run. It seems like, Richard, if you catch the wall just right, you can get a run the whole way through.
I believe it's like Bristol. You can tag the wall and keep on riding, and you'll be faster after you bounce off the wall than you were when you hit it. I don't know if it's the angle that you hit it at. I have not mastered that yet.
Yeah, usually if I hit the wall, I'm stuck on it.
Yeah, me too. It's the laws of physics when we're racing.
But hey, that's why we're up here and they're down there.
Absolutely. They're showing us how it's done. Van Weston has pretty much reached his own zip code, almost 4 seconds away from Boyer. And Denny looks like he is challenging Boyer for that second position. They are fighting hard. They want these stage points. Boyer looks like he has a card to do it tonight.
Yeah, Boyer, if he can stay consistent and avoid the wrecks, you see Henderson right there just kind of diamonded it out pretty hard, but he didn't lose any track position hardly.
And here comes Kirk around Henderson. He is taking away that 5th position, but Blake Henderson is going to fight back. He's going to try to do a little crossover, but he does not have the speed to do it, so he's going to lose a little bit of ground there going into turn 1 and 2.
Well, the more that you get fighting for position between Blake and Alistair, that's more of a chance you're letting Matt Smith start slowly pulling away. As you can see him, he's about opening it up to his second gap away from Kirk and Henderson.
Now, I want to point this out. Now, there is 2 cars out here without front bumpers, and they are challenging Hunter Whitlock for position. We have Dustin Hall with a beat-up Chevrolet Camaro, and Jimmy Strong is definitely on board because he's hauling ass. He is making it through the field. He is up to 9th with a busted ride.
Yeah, I believe Hunter may have collected a little bit of damage or something on that last, because his car is driving completely different than how it was past 10 laps ago when he was making the moves and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, the way he was driving it, I could see the tires turning too far. He was burning up those front tires, and I don't think he can get that car to turn anymore. But Hall and Barroso, with these busted up rides, are looking for that 8th position. They're coming up on Brandon Perry. They're looking to challenge. They're saying, hey, we're not done yet. Oh, as the 11 cuts off the 4, as I was riding along with the 4, the 11 drifts up and cuts him off. He lost a little bit of momentum there, but he's going to bring it back. We still got a 3-way battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Henderson has brought it into it. You've got Kurt Smith and Henderson as they are looks like we're fixing to hit the stage break, wrapping up into stage 1.
I was just looking at the lap time, or the gap times, and it looks like Mr. Boyer was actually catching Weston, unless Weston was trying to save what he had, so he didn't burn it off too quickly.
All right, and that right there is going to be the end of stage 1. Since we're under the stage break right now, let's take a minute and get a good little shout out to HMG and some of their side-by-sides, paints, and other promo videos that you can get.
Yeah.
All right, and that's HMG Innovations. You can find them on Facebook and Twitter also.
All right, pit road is going to be busy with Weston Boyer and Denny diving in along with Alistair Kirk. And somebody that got a big break from that, it's showing him 2 laps down. So he possibly may be able to get one of those laps back is Steve Tucker and be able to come in and hopefully repair a little bit of that damage.
Well, I think I honestly saw as the stage break was happening, I think I saw him coming into the pits. I'm not 100% sure if that's what he had doing. He may have tried to jump in before the caution came out, but that may have cost him.
Yeah, showing him 1 lap down, so he now has one of his laps back. Dustin Hall in. He took a regular pit stop. I guess he figured my ride is running just fine without a front bumper. I don't need it. Screw it. Just get me out back on the track, and I'll do it. Do what I have to do.
Yeah, I believe Tucker's going to be possibly having to go back a lap down since the timing of it was. They may have got him for entering a closed pit. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because now it's back scoring him 2 laps down. But while we are under caution, thank you, Nick, for reminding me. There's so much action on the track. SBRN is putting on a Christmas Dash for Cash, and people love to win money. And so we have cash prizes to give out. If we can get 35 drivers committed, I personally will be given. Sorry, my phone went off. Squirrel. I personally will be giving out a YRD design button box that you can hook up to iRacing. So yes, check us out on Facebook for more details. You can. It also has a link to join our Discord. It's a $5 entry fee. Please do come join us. It's going to be a fantastic racing. A lot of good guys have already signed up, so please come join us and take a chance of winning those great prizes.
Yeah, also along with that, we've got Martin Sports. You've seen a couple of their commercials tonight. They are going to give away a surprise fan package. The only thing is, you've either got to be in the race or you've got to be in the Twitch chat to be considered for it. So it will be a random pick also.
Great to have them on board. I'm glad they did. Hope to see them more in these races that we put on.
So we've got the, looks like they're going to take about 1 or 2 more laps. The lights are still on the pace car. Well, they've actually came off. Man, we've got a single file restart.
Green, green, green.
And here we go. Alfred Denny is out front. He is going to take that high line, and he is going to make it work with Weston in second place and Alistair Kirk up in the 3rd position. He is going to stick that high line, and look who is in 4th in that beat-up Chevrolet Camaro that just took away the 3rd position. It is Mr. Dustin Hall, as he is making that hot rod work for him.
Yeah, this right there shows, you know, this possibly does fall more under a short track than it does anything, because you don't have to have a complete car to compete for the lead.
No, you do not. You know, and that shows you how much skill that he has also. You know, he can take a busted ride right up at the top 5. He wants to go for 4 wins. Busted car or not, he wants that 4th win.
Yeah, he's trying to keep this streak alive, and if he can get that streak, he'll be setting a record right now in the HTL.
But it looks like that 51 car is hungry for the lead. It looks like he has his bugs worked out. He's not brushing the wall anymore. He wants the lead position. and he's trying his dangest to take it away from Denny. And here comes Dustin Hall also on the inside of the 51. He has found some speed somewhere out of that car.
Yeah, he's definitely making up the track position as they're fixing to go challenging 3 wide. It looks like Alistair, he kind of eases out of it and don't put it 3 wide, but it's still going to be a battle coming down through the tri-oval.
I don't know what happened to Weston, but he has fallen back just a little bit. He is now riding into 4th position. He still has the leader, that little lead pack in sight, but they're about a half a second away from him. He's still in striking distance, but looks like his car is falling off just a little bit, unless he is saving his tires for later.
Yeah, I'd be saving him. I mean, the track, well, as we say it, he kind of rubs into the wall a little bit. You know, when we started the race, track temperature was at 120. We've got almost 100 laps down. We're going to take a look at it. It's only came up 2 degrees. So that 2 degrees is going to make a lot of difference, making them cars handle difference as they start to stick a little bit more, but will still slide as they're coming out of turn 3 and 4.
And we have a new leader, ladies and gentlemen. The 4 car of Dustin Hall, no front bumper, rear end damage, is riding out front.
And pulling away. He's starting to gap the 2 car of Alfred Denny.
And somehow Whitlock has went a lap down. Where did I miss that? How did I miss that?
That makes 2 of us, and he's almost fixing to go 3 laps down.
And it looks like everything has settled down just a little bit on the track. We have Alfred Denny running in 2nd. He is now 1 second behind Dustin Hall. And we have Josh Weston running in 3rd. He is still in striking distance of that second position. And Alistair Kirk is running in 4th. Right behind Weston. So it looks like they have settled down. They're trying to save what they have. As of right now, we might start seeing things heat up as these tires start falling off.
Yeah, you can see around the Dustin, he does not have much. Looking at the back of the flip down board, 2 cars. It does not have much rate left. He is easily still opening up that gap, and he's put it up into a 1.5 seconds.
You know, that makes me wonder what kind of damage Barroso has, because, you know, their cars pretty much look the same, you know, no front bumper, but Barroso might have a little bit more damage than Hall, and he's just not able to have the speed that that Hall has.
And I'm going to tell you something else as I'm looking here at the stats. It's looking like Dustin Hall has put down the fastest time of the race so far with a 23.9.
Woo! Yay. He is hauling ass. Everybody else is like, oh no.
And you can see he is staying pretty consistent in the mid 24s. He's running a faster lap time than the 2 car of Denny Alfred Denny. I don't know why I said that name. But yeah, Dustin may have a secret that he didn't share with nobody else. I've got a feeling here, Richard, that the 51 and 21 battle is fixing to get pretty interesting as they're coming out of 3 or 4 going through the tri-oval.
'21 is trying to utilize that low line, and he is catching the 2-car. Look who also is in the picture. You got the 51, the 1. They are all right there together. 21, 2, and 50. 21 and 2 are nose to tail. 51 and 1 are nose to tail on the inside line. So who is going to prevail in this little battle? Nobody knows, but it looks like they stuck Denny on that high line. I believe, we saw him back there in that 5th position, and this little group here had a pretty good distance on him. I think he was back there saving tires as these guys were burning off their tires, so he is able to make those moves on the outside wall. Oh, he kissed it pretty hard right there. I think he's doing that on purpose, to be honest with you. It looks like the 19 tried to do the same thing as he done and it stalled him out a little bit. Yeah, because he has caught the 21 like it was nothing. He is diamonding those corners, going in, going in high, coming out low. Oh, yeah, it's working. Whatever he's doing is working for him. Look at that run coming up on the back bumper of the 21. It's just a matter of a lap or so before he takes away that second position. And like you said, he must be using an air bubble or something because there is no damage to the right side of that Chevrolet Camaro. Alfred Denny coming back into the picture. He is watching these two battle it out. They are side by side. That is going to allow him to catch up just a little bit because Bryce is not going to be able to do the scrape and run, but he still gets a heck of a run on that outside line. Yeah, I think he was just laying back, saving tires, and now he is able to dominate that little pack that he's leading. I think you might be right. He is over a half a second from third place of Weston. So he may have something for that leader as that ticker, it keeps on dropping. I saw it down to 7.9 seconds at one time as he comes out of the corner. He makes up a lot of ground.
Yeah, he's bringing the lightning down through there on the back of Thunder Highway right now. I mean, he's keeping it pretty consistent, but he's slowly pecking off Hall and opening up the gap between him and Weston.
Looking at the ticker here, riding around in that 9 spot is Blake Henderson. He is riding 20 seconds behind the leader, with the leader running 25-second lap times. Henderson is about 5 seconds in front of the leader, so the leader's going to be coming up on him quick as he scrapes the wall. That's not how Bryce Boyer is doing it there, buddy.
It looks like we've got about a 3-car, well, up to about a 5-car battle right now as they're coming into 3 and 4.
21 to 51 to 2, the 19, I'm sorry, the 17 and the 11. We haven't talked about Brandon Perry. He has been the silent one. He has a little bit of damage on the back end of that race car, but he is doing pretty well in this little group of 5. Actually a 6, because it looks like who is that just in front of them? That is Van Weston. Looks like he is about to lose another spot. So it is now turned from a group of 5 to a group of 6.
We're riding right now with the 11 car. Brandon Perry he's giving us a good view, and you can see it looks like some of them are coming in a little too hot. You saw the 21 cars into the wall a little bit, and Josh's strategy did not work as well as it did for Bryce.
Alistair Kirk riding in there in that 3rd position with the 19. He is actually showing 1 lap down. So we have a lap car within the mix. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That is actually just a 5-car battle for position. The 19 car is a lap down. He is the first car on the lead lap. So Alistair Kirk has a little bit of cushion, you know, from between him and the 17 of Nicholas France. All right. We are going to ride around with Nicholas France in that Glock number 17 Chevrolet Camaro. He is just behind the 19 car of Matt Smith, which we saw him up in the top 5 earlier in the race, and he is trying to work himself around the 51, trying to get his lap back the hard way, but he might run out of laps trying to do it because our leader is over 8 seconds in front of Boyer. But France goes on the inside of the 51. He was able to get around the 19. He goes on the inside of the 51. He wasn't able to make the pass because Alistair Kirk is running a little bit higher than him, using that momentum from that high line. And we're coming down to the checkered finish line. Going into turn 1, Alistair Kirk was able to hold the 17 off for that position, but it's not over yet. Alistair Kirk gets a little bit loose coming out of turn 2. The 17 is going to capitalize off of him having to let off the gas. The 19 is still a lap down, but he's battling with the 17. That cannot make you too happy when you're trying to go for a position and you have a lap card kind of in the way of you gathering that position. You're not able to run your line. You're just wishing, hey, let me by, please do. And he is able to get around the 19 car safe and sound. Now he is challenging the 51 for that 3rd spot. He is able to get a nose on him coming down to the start finish line. It's the 51 still in control of that 3rd position. And here they go. Oh, contact between him and the 51. The 51 is able to keep it straight. Good save by the 51. A little bit of a door check. 17 looked like he got a little bit tight, but great save. The 51 is not done. That allowed the 19 to get back around those two. That may be a courtesy of the 17 saying, hey, my bad, I'm sorry. I'll let you back around me and we'll go at it again. Hopefully without contact this time. And it looks. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe my eyes, but I saw the 55 for the first time come on track, and he spun it out. But he is able to get it gathered. We're going to go back to this little battle between the 17 and the 51. 51 is still showing a little bit more dominance over the 17, but the 17 is giving him a run for his money with the the 11 car of Brandon Perry starting to creep up into the picture.
Yeah, Perry may have synced up with Bryce and kind of got his technique.
Yeah, and look who is snuck his way up into the top 6. He is running around with another busted race car. We've seen busted race cars leading this race, and he has worked his way up to the top 6. And that is one and only Frank Barroso sitting in the number 6 position, challenging the 51. Gives them a little bit of block as they're going around into the turns. And look who else it is on the track, 109 laps down, but he was able to make it. It is Nathan Estep, and he's going to try to go get at least one of those laps back.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what happened with Estep, but right now he's actually dropped the fastest lap.
He has the freshest tires, but I want to point you up to the front. If you look at your ticker, Bryce Boyer is now within 3 seconds of the leader. He has worked himself up to 3 seconds from 8. So great job. He has some speed in that hot rod. Dustin Hall may have his hands full come shortly.
Yeah, Bryce has figured something out.
Oh, and we have a yellow. It looks like Matty and Estep have crashed.
And I'm not 100% sure, but if Estep was at fault on that one, I would be highly upset if I was Matt.
I'm going to have to go back and slow this down. Looks like the 55 has a heck of a run. Let me try to change cameras here.
It looked like the 19 got a little bit of push off the wall and lost it. It knocked it into the 55, so... We'll ride looking out the back bumper.
Hate to see that. He just came out on the track.
Yeah, it looks like Smith got a little loose coming out.
So, with that being said, that brings the field back together. Henderson looks like he was the lucky dog on that, so he might be back on the lead lap. Yes, he is riding around in that ninth position. That was some pretty good green flag racing. Looks like, where did Dustin Hall go? It looks like he went and got a bumper put on his car, so he is back out on the track. He has a full car now. He used his fast repair. He finally used his fast repair. He was fast without the fast repair. Now he used it, and he might be even faster.
Well, right there goes to show, like we've said, you don't have to have a full car to compete or to finish. But Bryce Boyer, somehow, he's moved his car all the way up to the front.
Up 9 positions. That is awesome. That's great driving. he has definitely figured out something about this track that probably nobody knew. I definitely, for surely, didn't know. And he's got a clean race car. The other one is Nicholas France. He's up, a couple positions, but he's making this track work for him.
Yeah, and that right side, as we're seeing right there, as they're taking one of the pace laps, that right side of Bryce Boyer's car has no scratches on it whatsoever. So I don't know how he's pulling that off and not getting no damage there, Richard, but it's impressing me tonight.
It's definitely impressive to me also, because I'd be all up in that wall. I'd be giving it a new paint job. Well, the pace car lights are out, so it looks like we are 1 to go as they are coming into turn 2, about to be on the back stretch. Looks like Whitlock is your first car a lap down, so if we have another caution, he will be back on the lead lap if he can stay in front of Smith. Tucker is 3 laps down, and E-Step is still 109 laps down. So we have 13 cars out on the track. Everybody is still in this race. So it still is anybody's race. I am interested to see. We saw Dustin Hall use his fast repair, and now I take a look at Frankie Moroso's car in that number 12. He used his fast repair, so we got them two with 2 brand new race cars. And we are green flag with Boyer taking the green flag. He got a pretty good jump on the 17, but the 17 is right there as they go into turn 1. We will probably see him use his little strategy here very shortly as he gets a little bit of cushion. But here comes the 4 car. He wants to reclaim that lead in that brand new number 4 Jimmy Strong Chevrolet Camaro. He takes the lead back from Boyer, and Nicholas France is going to take that second position. And here comes the 2 car of Alfred Denny he hit the apron a little bit, taking the second position away from everybody. So they are flying. They are ready to go.
Yeah, and right now the battle I'm wanting to look at real close is between Smith and Whitlock as we're coming up into the end of stage 2. As they both are pretty close with each other. Well, they were there for a second, but it looks like right now it's going to have Smith, as he's going to be the one to get the lucky dog.
Well, statistically speaking, I mean, we have seen some cautions going on, so he still might be in a pretty good position. Even if he does not get his lap back right away, he may be able to, get his lap back sooner or later. So I'd probably be the same way he is, not in a big hurry, because it looks like he still has a lot of damage done to that Toyota. But the next car is 3 laps down, so you don't have to worry about losing another position.
We just saw with one car, Bryce Boyer dive down into the pits, so that may be an interesting strategy as they've got about 5 to go before the stage break.
Being as it is a short track, Boyer could go a couple laps down, pitting this early. Like you said, is it a good strategy? Because Matt Smith has already passed him. Where is Mr. Whitlock? Has just passed him, so it's going to be interesting to see if he keeps from going 2 laps down. Oh, as we have the leaders catching up to Blake Henderson, and there is Bryce Boyer right there. The 2 car on the inside. Is the lap car gonna yield to him? They are going 3 wide, going into turn 1. You have Denny on the inside, and you have Hall on the outside. Hall was able to maintain the lead as they put Hunter Whitlock 2 laps down now.
And that right there has got to be real nervous for you. I mean, you're a lap car, you're coming out, and you've got the leaders both coming up beside you, and they split you.
Yeah, that is definitely, I've had it done to me because, you know, in some of these races, I am slow. Van Weston smacked the wall as the leaders went by. And there are only 6 cars on the lead lap. Next car lap down is going to be Perry. Actually, never mind, it's going to be Smith. It looks like Perry dived into the pit for his four freshies and go-go juice. And Dustin Hall has actually broken away almost 1 second above Denny. But that was a good battle while it lasted. Lap cars did affect that run just a little bit, but that's to be expected on a short track.
Yeah, Dustin's, I mean, he's been caught up in every wreck near about it, except for the last 2. He's managed to be in last, be a lap down, and he's worked his way back up to the lead. So that right there tells me all car, no car, he can drive the car.
Yeah. Now he is running those fast lap times like we've seen before. You know, he's 24-second lap times. If I was the 2 car, oh, there is the yellow.
That's going to be the stage break right there.
So now that we are on, so Smith will get his lap back. Kirk is the last car on the lead lap in the 5th position. Smith will make the 6th position unless these guys that pitted early stay out on the track, which I don't see them pitting again. But still, that holds them at least 1 lap down. As we see the 2 car dive in for his service. And that puts Frankie Brosso back up towards the front. That was amazing. He was, you know, a lap down at one point, worked his way back up. He was battling with these other cars that had less damage to him than him, and he is back up into 3rd position as of right now until he comes out of the pit. Unless somebody beats him out of the pit, he's holding that 3rd position. So, you know, great racing by these guys. You know, like you said, no car, all car or no car, they're here to race, and they're making this track work for them.
Yeah, you've got to, because if you don't, the rock will just destroy you.
All right, well, that puts Henderson back 1 lap down, so it looks like he is going to be the first car on the lead lap, or first car 1 lap down. So if there happens to be another caution, he will get his lap back, and he is running in a respectable 7th position considering the mishaps that he's had throughout the race.
And I've seen Nathan Estep back in the pits. He may have came out for enough laps just to get some points, hopefully trying to salvage his P2 in the point standings.
Yeah, it is scoring him 110 laps down. I wish he could have started at the beginning of the race. It looked like he had a fast hot rod. He would have been able to, you know, possibly hang with some of these guys up towards the front, if not lead it. You know, we've seen him in and out. You know, he's you know, throughout these past races, he has always brought a fast car. So he's been definitely putting into practice. So it's a shame that we didn't get to see him start the race. And while we are under caution, I am going to take a moment to hydrate. I'll be right back.
All right, Richard, you get your hydration in there. It looks like the lights are off on the pace car and they is fixing to drop down. Blake Nation has got quiet out there. We're going to move up here and get set up with Dustin Hall as they are fixing to take it green.
And I am back. Good old Monster, while calling a race, definitely gets the blood flowing,
Green, green.
and we are green. Boy, that 4 and that 2 car got a pretty good jump off the line, but Dustin was definitely able to jump higher and put a gap on that 2 car.
We're going to ride with the P6 car of Matt Smith. So he's kind of dropping back just a little bit, but it's giving us a pretty good view of the battle in front of him.
That is going to be Kirk. Oh! Oh, the 2 car hit the wall. Alistair Kirk is fighting for the 2nd position along with the 12 car of Frankie Barroso. It is a side-by-side battle. As long as he keeps it off the wall, keeps it, he will be able to, well, I was about to say maintain that high line and take it back away from Frankie, but Frankie has closed the door on him and taken away that 2nd position.
Yeah, we're seeing a good little battle between the 3 to 5th position car. We're riding with Matt Smith. And you can see that Bryce Boyer is still using his technique that he has used for the past 140 laps.
He is 2 laps down. If he can do it, we saw him come back from 8 seconds. I'm sorry, 8 seconds and catch the leader down by 2. As he gets a little bit loose. So if he can do that again, catch these leaders, he can get one of those laps back. And if another caution were to come out, he'd be in striking distance of getting back on the lead lap.
Yeah, you can see him right there is 24 of
Okay.
completely went mind blank on that one.
24 is Steve Tucker.
Steve Tucker.
Oh, he's diving in the pits.
Yeah, we're seeing Dustin Hall is opening that gap up a little bit. Well, actually, a lot of bit, as he's over about nearly as 2 seconds over Frankie Barroso. And what the amazing thing is about 20, 30 laps ago, neither one of these had a front bumper anywhere on their car.
Yeah, that is right. And like you said, saving that fast repair for later in the race was definitely the right move. I think they took your advice, and now running 1 and 2 with Kirk in the 3rd position, he needs to call Scotty and engineering and tell him he needs more power or more grip, depending on how his car is handling at the moment.
He's making it work on that high side, and they're kind of doing the diamond too, I've noticed, and everybody's starting more and less to roll with how how Boyer was doing, but it don't seem none of them are getting the results as good as Bryce Boyer was.
I don't think they're getting close enough to that wall to get that little air bubble to push him off. I think that is his secret. He rides up high, gets that air, and it pushes him off the wall and shoots him down the track, and he comes out nice and straight, allowing him to gap whoever is behind him. So when we are done with this, I am gonna have to go try his little secret, see if it works for me. Probably won't, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, anything's worth trying at least once, and as Bryce has done it, he's made it work 147 times. So it must be cutting the time down pretty quick.
Now, our leader of Dustin Hall is about to be challenged by Frankie Barroso. He is closing that gap. He is within 0.3 seconds of the leader. So within a couple laps, we could see a side-by-side battle for that #1 spot.
Yeah, these two right here, they've kind of they've hooked back on track, and they are starting to actually gap the field a little bit. But Alistair Kirk is, you see him there lingering in the background, but he's not cutting it off near as much as Frankie Barroso is.
Scary sight to see. The 24 crashed right before the leaders got to him. Looks like in turn 3 and 4, and he had to have it towed in. He had a good car in the beginning, and then it started falling off. He went into the pits to maybe get some fresh tires on it, make a few adjustments. But I think the cold tires got him.
Yeah, as you see, Alistair Kirk, he's finally came into the picture, so he's going to be able to give a little challenge for both of them.
Riding along in our 7th position. Last time I seen Blake Henderson, he had a bumper on that front car. Maybe he's trying to take a few notes from Dustin Hall and Frankie Barroso, trying to run without the bumper. Maybe it makes it make you turn better, but I think he's trying their strategy, and he is the next car 1 lap down, so he still has a chance to get back on the lead lap and make something happen.
Yeah, the battle, it's not really dying down, as they both, have found what works for them on this track. Because we've still got about 75 to go before they're gonna.
This is a 3-way battle for the lead. Alistair Kirk has caught the leaders. I don't know if Dustin used all his tires or what, but with these two battling, allowed that 51 to catch up as they go into turns 3 and 4. Alistair Kirk is right there within striking distance. He wants to try to lead this race also.
Yeah, I think everybody wants a piece of the pie there.
And Alistair Kirk has found that speed that Bryce Boyer is using. He is almost running the same line, but Bryce Boyer is utilizing more of that high line to get more momentum off of that corner. But he is using it, and he is using it well as they ride side by side for the lead. Frankie Barroso has a nose on the 4 car as the 4 car hits the wall. Alistair Kirk barely gets around him, and he takes over the lead. So
Yeah,
we have another lead change.
Yeah, that right there was pretty crazy right there. How it and that little bump that Dustin had, he's gonna have to go into the pits. It's showing him going in right now and having to fix some kind of damage.
Alistair Kirk is actually pulling away from the second position of Frankie Barroso. He's making him, Barroso is making a little bit of time up as he goes into the corner, but he's losing a little bit of time as he comes out. So it looks like Alistair Kirk
has found a little bit of speed out of that number 51 Ford Mustang.
Yeah, he's kind of just been lingering towards the back, not really making any heavy moves, but as we're closing it down with about 70 to go, he's starting to make a statement and let people know that he is here.
Yeah, but Frankie is not done yet. As they go into turn 1, he closes that gap within 0.2 seconds of the leader. But the leader is able to get the drive off the corner, so it just makes me wonder, as those two were battling side by side, did he use up a little bit of his tires?
He very well could have. As I've been riding around the past couple laps, as we're saying with 25 car of Henderson, since we've got a little bit of his nation out there, they need to rebuild, I think. Looks like the front of his car needs to be rebuilt. But he's lingering right there for the lucky dog.
And running in 6th position, so he is not far away from the top 5.
But you've got Frankie, who's closed that gap back down on Kirk, as they are coming into lap traffic of Dustin Hall, and it looks like he is going to go a lap down. Or he would actually be 2 laps down as of right now.
Oh, he's showing him as 3. Showing Weston in front of him. He's running around in the 10th position. Well, make sure I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. And we have a lead change again. Alistair Kirk lets Frankie Barroso by, but the battle is not over. And how do you think these lap cars are gonna treat the leaders? We saw it before. We saw them split a lap car. So this could get rather interesting.
Yeah, you take that in consideration, and you take in that we are coming up on some green flag pit stops. That's going to make it worthwhile.
Yes, because I want to. You want to be precise. You do not want to speed. You don't want to lock up the tires. There are so many factors that are going to play into these green flag pit stops, and you got to wonder: do you want to pit early, get the jump out front, or do you want to pit later? We've seen the later strategy work a little bit better, but anything can happen.
Yeah, Barossa must have saved something there for Kirk, because he's starting to open up the gap on him as he's went almost a second ahead of him, as from where they was running side by side, pretty consistent.
Yeah, he's opened up the gap almost a second. You can see that Kurt actually adjusted his line, and I don't think that line is actually working because his car is not turning as well as it was. So we may be seeing him pit maybe a little bit early, like I said, to get maybe that jump. But that 12 car is really fast, so I don't know if pitting early is going to be the best move. I would say pit with the leader when he does pit, so you stay on the same strategy, save your tires for, later on in the run.
Yeah, but if you think of it this way, if he pits with them, we've seen it in the past 20 laps, Barossa was able to catch Kirk, pass Kirk, gap Kirk. So I think Barossa may have a little bit more in his car drive-wise than Kirk does, as he was able to just catch him and pass him.
Yes, I think you might be right on that one. And as I'm looking at the ticker, I only see 4 cars on the lead lap. With your first car 1 lap down is Alfred Denny in that 2 Coolers Light Ford Mustang. We saw him running up front earlier. He might just have a little bit too much damage to run with these top guys, but still he is doing a really good job running in that top 5 position. And it looks like the 19 is going to fight for his for his lap. If the 19 gets past, there will only be 3 cars on the lead lap. So the 19 is going to fight as hard as he can to stay on that lead lap until the leader pits. Oh, as he scrapes the wall just a little bit.
He may be trying the Bryce Boyer strategy.
The great thing about his car is he has collision specials all over it, so he knows a good body man, so he can afford to have a few scrapes on that hot rod and still get it fixed up.
Yeah, most definitely. And he kind of looks like he just eased up just a little bit to let Barossa get by him. And now you've got Smith as being the buffer between Alistair Kirk and Barossa.
I don't think these guys are too worried about it because they are the only 3 on the lead lap. So if you look at the times, actually Kirk is closing in the gap. He was 1.6 seconds, and he's closing down to 1.4 seconds of, and now it's going back up. So he must have gotten into a little bit of trouble there because now he's dropping down to 2 seconds. So he's losing a lot more ground than I thought he would have. So Matty Smith was sitting in 3rd. He is now 1 lap down. It is only 2 people on the lead lap, and I don't see Kirk going down a lap anytime soon. So if a caution happens to come out, there will only be 3 cars on the lead lap, with Smith getting a lap back, being the lucky dog.
Yeah, we've still got about 50 to go. I mean, it looks like Barossa is pretty much in a class of his own right now. So he may be the one to break the Hall for Pete.
Beagle Man, thank you for joining us. Blake Henderson is running in the 8th position. He is being scored 2 laps down, so he needs a little bit of help. Maybe a couple cautions come out and help him get back on that lead lap. But as we've seen, we are clean and green for the moment.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing much of a battle. Let's see if we can maybe get closed up with somebody. The closest battle it's looking like is Bryce Boyer and Brandon Perry. Everyone else is pretty much just scattered out throughout the field, so
They are 3 wide. You have Hall. Oh, yeah, they worked that out really quick. You had Hall, Kirk, the 19 of Smith, and France in that 17 car all right there together, and they were 3 wide trying to get around the 19. That was some pretty intense racing right there, and they all made it out without touching anybody. Thank you, Raphael, for giving us that like. Sorry, I just saw that on Facebook, but we appreciate the likes. Please, if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate everything. Y'all, we appreciate y'all coming out to visit us and watching our broadcasts.
you've got Barossa. He's putting the whole field and lap down. The only one still staying on it is Alistair Kirk, but it looks like the tires of Barossa are starting to wear, as the 17 car of Nicholas was able to easily get back on the lead lap, but now he's got to capitalize on it.
Yeah, it looks like Alistair Kirk is also running him down just a little bit here and there. It's not significant. As we see Alistair Kirk, he is going to dive into the pits right behind Blake Henderson. Oh, he's got to get it slowed down. The 25 was right there. Thought there was going to be a collision. But they were able to stay off each other as they dove into the pits. And that until Barroso pits, that is going to put Alistair Kirk one lap down, possibly two.
You got Frankie coming on into the pits now, so that's going to change a lot of stuff up.
Absolutely, and Alistair Kirk was able to get out of the pits without spinning the car around, without spinning the tires, and he worked his way around the 17. He is going to get his lap back from the 12, and we're going to see how fast he can catch the 12. 12 getting left sides, going to work their way around and take the right sides.
Well, he's got about 43 seconds. He's got him cut down to about 26 now, so it's going to be pretty close as to how
Kirk is looking like he's able to take the lead, maybe, or come out right behind him.
he's out right behind him as he's keeping a half a second lead on Kirk.
That was awesome pit strategy. He went from 5 seconds back to now side by side. The 12 having a lap newer tires. He's going to pitch the 12 down to the apron and make the pass on the outside. And now we have another leader. That is Alistair Kirk is taking over the lead position.
Yeah, with those fresh tires, I think he's running a little too hard as Barroso looks like to be falling off the pace pretty good. But I can see it more and less of him just saving his tires towards the end.
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen also. We might see the 51 drop off real fast. But he is putting cars in between him and the 12. So that could play a good strategy as the 19 just moves out the way. He's like, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt Smith, him being the first one down, he's probably praying for a caution, but somebody else that has snuck into it for that lucky dog position, if he can play his cards right, and that's going to be the 4 car of Dustin Hall, who is sitting in P5 at 1 lap down.
Yeah, that Jimmy Strong Camaro has definitely been strong all night, right around in that 5th position. Definitely 6 spots up from where he started at the start of the race, but there's still a lot of life left in that car. And yes, you are correct. He could, if he can catch Matt Smith, he can take over that lucky dog position and just pray for a caution and get back on the lead lap. And hopefully get that 4th win of the night.
Yeah, he's got a lot of obstacles to overcome if he's going to hit that 4th in a row, but there's a lot of obstacles in life we always have to overcome, and he's got the car that's got it on the side that's going to overcome it, so I easily can see him getting back up there and making it 4 in a row.
I definitely can see that too. Anything can happen. Blake Henderson has dropped 3 spots from his starting position. He is still riding around with no bumper. He elected to take no repairs and showing 7 laps down. Hats off to him for sticking it out and finishing the race. Hunter Whitlock started up towards the front and got an EOL, started in the back, worked his way back up to the front, but he is being scored 9 laps down. But once again, hats off to him. He is riding it out Definitely those points are worth it to him. Josh Van Westen is showing out of the race. His car gave up on him, but we got a battle for the lead again as they are catching Hunter Whitlock in that lonely Toyota as he scrapes the wall in front of the leaders. Alistair Kirk and Frankie Barroso going at it. Alistair Kirk riding that hotline was able to make it stick and keep the lead, but Frankie is going to battle back.
Nicholas France, now he's lingering back there about 7 seconds back in the P3 position as he is the last car on the lead lap. But the way these two are fighting right here, that might give him a chance to sneak in as we've got about 26 laps, 28 laps to go.
Absolutely, we are battling side by side going into turn 3 and 4. You have Barroso on the inside. You have Kirk on the outside. He's going to try to beam his way back around that 12 car as they come to the start-finish line. And the 12 had a bumper on him going into turn 1 and 2. Alistair Kirk driving very hard just to try to keep that lead, but the 12 was able to overcome, and he's going to dive it back on the inside. These guys are battling it out really hard.
Yeah, and it looks like that Kirk's just kind of eased off a little bit and let Barroso take the lead back over. And he could be just managing his tires a little bit better, but the gap's still being opened up from Nicholas France.
Yeah, Nicholas France in that third position. I am glad to see, you know, his car running in the top 3. You know, he's been lingering, and now he might be able to capitalize, you know, on the strategy that he had. He may not be first, but he's definitely not going to be last in this race if it stays green.
Last place is pretty much locked in by Nathan Eastep.
110 laps down, yeah. I agree with that.
But you never know. He could come back.
He might be just getting a few repairs, come out for a couple more laps. The gap opens up between Barroso and Kirk. It is now almost 2 seconds between him and that first place position, with France at about 14 and a half seconds behind the leader. So we could possibly see France go down a lap again.
Yeah, he's only got about a half a track cushion on him. And we've seen it. You can get around this track pretty quick, about 25, 30 seconds.
That leader is coming, and that will, if he gets lapped, that will put him the first car on a lap down. And how far? And we got a question in the chat by Papa John Hall. How far is it between Smith and Hall? Let's see, Dustin Smith. They are both showing 1 lap down. Let's get a gap here because they are showing 1 lap down.
About 17 seconds is what we're looking at.
Yep. As we see Blake Henderson going another lap down. Barroso is putting the hurt on them all, and looks like Hall is in jeopardy of going 2 laps down as the leader goes down to the bottom. Hall lets him by. Still impressive. He came out, he got into a few incidents, lost a front bumper, ran out front without the front bumper, came in, got repairs, and had another incident happen. But he is still running in the top 5. So definitely hats off to him. He is still doing it tonight. He may not get that 4 wins tonight, but he'll be in the top 5.
And that's always good consistency. But like we was talking with the power rankings and the points, Barossa at E-Step was right there on his bumper. And if I'm not mistaken, we do give points for fastest lap, and E-Step did come out and put the burner down at a 23.81. So he may have came out just to get a little bit of bonus points to give him a little bit of a cushion. You know,
I don't know.
I'm not going to say it is or isn't, but it's a good strategy.
Yeah, I give him that. Yep, that's pretty good strategy.
Yeah, Barossa's pretty much just opened it up. He's got about a good 7-second gap between him and Kirk now.
I think Kurt is just now riding. He knows he has that second position locked in unless he, makes a mistake. France is about to go a lap down. He's 23 seconds behind the leader. Let me ride with the leader and find out where France is compared to the leader. So let's go to the roll bar. Oh, yeah. France is going into turn 1 right now, and the leader is right behind him. So France is definitely in trouble. With 19 to go, anything can still happen, and he can get his lap back if he goes a lap down. But that's not what the leader wants to see, is a caution, because he has so much of a gap, and he knows Kirk is fast.
Yeah, and Kirk just Barossa just easily passed France. So, I mean, it's going to put him back being the first car a lap down. So, and
So we have
number 2.
Yep. 17 laps to go, 8 seconds back to Kirk. If Kirk doesn't pick up the speed, I mean, he potentially, if he puts a second on him a lap, he could potentially be the only car on the lead lap.
Well, he's got him gapped 9 seconds right now, and I mean, it wouldn't be nothing for him to put another 21 down on it.
Yep, and it's definitely increasing. 16 to go. Frankie Barossa is our leader. Alistair Kirk, our road racer on the ovals, riding in second. This will be the second time we will be able to interview him. Nicholas France riding in our third position. First car a lap down in that number 17 Glock Chevrolet. Fourth, we have Matt Smith. It's going to be your second car, 1 lap down in that. I think that's Auto Menders Chevy Camaro. Alfred Denny. It looks like Dustin Hall has dropped back a little bit. He has now scored in the 8th position. It looks like Perry and Boyer were able to get around him. So I don't exactly know what happened to him, but he has fell back 2 positions from the last time we saw him.
Well, the good news for Blake Nation out there, he can get a top 10.
That is a good point. Could be a fuel strategy. So he could be banking on these other guys, running out of fuel, which they pitted on. What they pit on their Jeremy?
Let's see if we can get it brought up here. it is looking like Barossa. They're all right there as far as with their pits. So, I mean, Hall showing he can go up to another, well, it looks like about another 52 laps. So, yeah, he did just get it topped off, but there's only about 10 to go. So, it's going to be interesting if they can. I mean,
Yeah, let's see. You got Barroso pitted at lap 182. You have Kirk that pitted at 180, 171 for France. Smith pitted at lap 176, and Denny pitted at 182, 183 for Boyer, and Hall pitted at 155. So he pitted way earlier than everybody else. So yeah, he might be in jeopardy of running out of fuel, so that's why he is dropping back. I believe he was probably anticipating more cautions, after he pitted, which that would have saved him a little bit, but I don't know if he's going to get those. As we all...
Barossa's, he pretty much is his race to lose. I mean, if he is getting close to home fuel, he probably can coast it quite a few. Smack the fans.
The fence.
Fence. Either or. Tomato.
I mean, he can smack fans if he wants to. I mean, I'll get a kick out of that.
Any netcode is possible.
Exactly. We'll just call it netcode. Yeah. He gets me a couple times too.
Well, I tell you what gets you nothing more than anything is when you're mad and you just go ducking off on everybody. Yeah, we're showing it down 5 to go, and I don't see Kirk beaming up there to the P1, so it looks like it's going to be a Frankie Barossa show for him to lose tonight.
Yeah, I am thinking the same thing. 17 seconds behind. He is only maybe 8 seconds in front of the leader. And Frankie is just ticking him off. So, ticking that those lap times off. So, I mean, now he's 18 seconds now. So if we had more laps, Frankie could have potentially lapped the 51 and be the only car on the lead lap. But I don't think we have enough laps for him to do that. So definitely a great performance from the back to the front. Actually, from the front to the back to the front. And gonna win this thing.
Yeah, he had a massive mountain to overcome, but big dreams. He drives for a Texas family, so is he taking the white flag there, Richard? I think he's gonna pretty much wrap this one up for the night.
I believe you are right. Frankie Barroso is gonna win the Rock. Alistair Kirk, our road racer, he is gonna take home P2, and Nicholas France is gonna take home P3. So we get to interview somebody new tonight.
We do. Unfortunately, Dustin Hall did not get his 4-peat.
Nope. So to wrap up the rest of the field, we got Matty Smith in the 4th position. Dustin Hall moved back up to the 5th position. We have Alfred Denny in the 6th. Boyer is going to take home 7th. Perry, 8th. Henderson, 9th. Whitlock is going to be shown in 10th. 11th is going to be Weston. 24th is Tucker. And E-Step is going to be 13th. So that wraps up everybody's race position. Dustin Hall giving his little door bump there for congratulations. We're going to see Frankie Barroso burn it down. And he is burning it down here at Rockingham, North Carolina. Good job there, Frankie. Good job there, Alistair Kirk. And good job there, Nicholas France. Your top 3. Congratulations, you guys. Put on a hard race.
All right, we're gonna get Barroso up here with us as he's doing his burnout. See if we can catch him a little bit on the happy side.
Oh yeah, I think he is happy.
He's burning up those donuts right now. Frankie, Richard, and Jeremy up here in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, sirs.
Well, you found half your car. Continue doing your burnouts. We're watching you. You had your full bumper was gone. It was in wrecks, and you somehow managed to salvage lapping nearly the entire field.
Yeah, I think it was just some bad luck, but I mean, you'll have it in this sport. It's just kind of how you bounce back from it. I never gave up. Even with some misfortune, you still gotta just keep pounding and just keep clicking off laps because you never know what happens. That was a fun battle with Dustin. That was awesome. Door-to-door racing. It was a shame. I may have squeezed him into the wall. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen the replay. But yeah, it was just a great race overall. Great comeback, and thanks to Brandon and Matt for being great teammates as always for PGR Motorsports.
I don't hear nobody.
Well, all right. I had to adjust my microphone there. I had to get it turned up a little bit. Well, Barroso, you broke the streak, though, for Pete of Hall. You're setting 3rd in points. You're setting 2 in the power rankings. Can you convince your fans can you get that number 1?
I mean, I felt like I drive the number 1 today, but still, I mean, I knew I kind of had a chip, or not really a chip on my shoulder, but I was confident, figured out the track around the end of stage 2. I really figured it out, and I think from there, with unfortunately some bad luck to Dustin and Alistair maybe. Yeah, I think that's how I pulled it off. But anyway, thanks to those guys for racing extremely hard and clean.
Well, all right, Frankie. We'll let you continue to celebrate doing your donuts there. We will see y'all next week. We're taking it to North Wilkesboro.
We got Alistair in here. Where you going?
Yeah, we're fixing to get Alistair.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in the stream. I was like, wait a minute.
No, I'm gonna let y'all compete with your British accents.
Oh, no. He's got me beat.
Hi there.
Alistair, you put on a great show, man. We saw you get into a little bit of trouble. Rockingham looks like it could be a difficult track, but you seem to have tamed it somewhat. You weren't able to, retain the lead, but you came home in what a respectful position to come home in. Like I said, even on the top the first position, but you definitely worked hard. You definitely did your homework throughout that race, man. Tell us how your night went.
Yeah, well, again, it's another Bristol. Those were my first laps on the track. Yeah, I mean, I picked the track up about an hour ago. Well, I mean, an hour before the race, and yeah, I did not like the track at the start. And as Frankie said, he only got used to the track, the line kind of after finishing stage 2, and it's the same with me really. I'm so bad on worn tyres. The car's just always so tight. I don't know how Dustin and Frankie are able to keep the pace up, but yeah, and it was a nice freeway battle between me, Dustin, and Frankie there. I don't know how I managed just to get through the gap there, but I managed to do it, and yeah, it was just good fun. So I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Definitely, it was definitely fun to watch everybody battling it out. With lap cars and everything. Those gave y'all a little bit of trouble, I noticed, but P2 position, man. I had you in the power rankings. You were actually my 6th pick because you haven't made a lot of races, but you look pretty strong out there. So I just wanted to let you know about that. I think you can rise up to the top of that out of the 5 power rankings. So keep up the good work, man. And hey, if you got somebody to shout out, and we'll
yeah,
call
I mean, yeah, cheers for that. Yeah, no, just thanks to Blake, obviously my teammate, for Gary as well for helping me out in previous races, and tonight Hunter. Yeah, so yeah, cheers guys.
Sweet. Well, we appreciate the great racing, and we will catch you next week. Hopefully, you will be there next week. Where are we going to there, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'll be there.
We're going to take it to North Wilkesboro next week for the Wilkes 225. So that's going to be another one that is not used to be ran on through the series, but these guys here at HTL are challenging it up and changing it up every bit they get. So next week we are going to be still in a newer track that needs to be redone. So until next time, on behalf of myself, Richard at SBRN, we will see y'all next week, and have a good night.
All right, everyone.